Hey guys, thanks for joining me, and if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. I am super nervous about what I'm going to do. These are Echoes, EKKO, designed by Ray Laconico. CJRB came out with a base model one that is fairly cheap, and it is an awesome knife, and it was up for my Knife of the Year last year. It still falls shut really nicely, but flicking it has now become almost impossible. You have to open it as a front flipper, and that's because when I did this disassembly video of this, I was never able to get it back together again so that the detent was fixed and working fine. And I don't know what that was. So when they came out with the S90V version, I definitely wanted it because I love Ray. I love the machining on this, and I'm going to be doing a review of this. But you know, part of my usual standard thing is that I do a disassembly and maintenance video, and then I come out with a review. So I'm going to do that, and I'm frankly very nervous about how this is going to go. It has a button lock, obviously, and something about that button lock did not want to go back together again on the last time I did this. I didn't even post the video of me taking this apart and failing. So I'm going to take this apart, but first I'm going to ask you guys to like and subscribe, and if you could leave a comment, it really helps the channel. What's going to happen here is, in a second here, I'm going to go to high speed mode, and I'm going to take it apart, and then I'm going to pause the video, or pause the high speed, and I'm going to show you the inside, and then I'm going to attempt to put it back together again, and no matter what happens, I'm going to show you what the results were. Hopefully it's just something that was bum about this, and that they fixed any kind of design flaws so that I'm able to put this back together again easily. All right, so this is nervous. I'm very nervous about this, but we're going to go ahead and attempt it. So, high speed mode, engage. All right, and we're back. So here you can see I've got a lot of schmutz from my pocket in there because I have been carrying it a lot. You can see why this particular button lock is hard is because it has to be nested inside the blade there at the same time as the spring has to be in there. I'm now going to take this apart without losing the spring, he says, hopefully, and that's just by pulling this straight up. I think what I need to do when I put it back together again is to put it back just like that. One of the reasons why I wanted to take this apart, there's a little rail that it has to fit in perfectly for it to go in and out too. One of the reasons I want to take this apart is because it wasn't falling shut as good as a button lock should fall shut. So I wanted to clean it up. It does look a little greasy. I mean, it looks a little dirty, but not very greasy. And maybe that's part of the pivot being over tight. I did try to adjust the pivot, but I wasn't able to really get it to close as smoothly as I wanted. I mean, it was closing smoothly, but not drop shutting. So it's not machined out on the inside, which is fine. It's got a washer that rides, and a steel washer that rides on the bearings. So that it's not riding on the titanium. And I got to remember that the pivot side, the bolt side, goes on the clip side. I need to remember that. This is not a locking washer. So as far as my memory is concerned, this is basically put together exactly like the other one. It's just premium materials, S90V, very nicely made titanium scales with this really cool contoured complex like wing formation here of where it spreads out and gets bigger. Just very cool machining. I love this knife, and I love the blade shape because it's very much a utility blade shape with S90V. I think it's going to be awesome. What's going to happen now is I'm going to clean this up in high speed, and I'm going to put it back together again, and we'll see if I successfully do it. All right, so we're going to return to warp speed. Okay, and we're back. All right, so I still need to do the final tightening, but I can already tell that I've done this correctly. That is great news. It was the first time I put it back together. I don't think the button was in its track completely, if that makes sense. And then it took me a while to get it back in its track the second time. I did not use Loctite on this. This hardware seems really, really tight and well put together. The falling action, do you see that? How it doesn't, I need a little nudge. That's not bad. It's just not what I'm used to with button locks. So I'm just gonna try to play with loosening it a little bit. And see if I can get it to drop shut. So I am definitely relieved. Oh, there we go. Now it's dropping shut nicely. And the question is it centered? It is centered. And do we have blade play? That's the other question. No blade play. All right, great. Yeah, no blade play. So now the detent is great. It's tuned up. Front flipper action works better if possible. Very nice. Okay, so whatever was wrong with the budget knife, that problem did not transfer here, which is great. So I'm very, very happy about that because I overall love the knife and iterations, making things better. I just assumed that either I got a dud or there was a problem and they fixed it. Either way, fine with me because this is a great design. Spoiler alert. So I'll be giving this a full review now and I'll talk about that. But overall, glad I did not just break so much money. That is awesome. And this is a great knife. Highly recommend. All right. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe. And also, if you want to win a knife, all you have to do is become a Patreon member, which you can find a link below. $3 a month, you too can get a chance to win a knife every month. Thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.